Time now for our Sunday specials. Nigerians on a daily basis lose millions of naira to fraudulent investment schemes that continue to permeate the country's landscape. In this report, TVC findings reveal that many more will still fall prey while these Ponzi scheme operators cash out big. Ifunaya Eze reports.
Day in, day out, all manner of investment schemes are launched on social media platforms and other integrated marketing communication platforms through crowdfunding initiatives, promising attractive returns on investments, most often unrealistic gains. Section 67, subsection 1 of the Investment and Securities Act 2007 and Section 22, subsection 5 of Companies Allied Matters Act 2020 specifically prohibit equity-based crowdfunding by private entities and allows only public companies and statutory bodies or banks established by or pursuant to an act of the National Assembly to accept deposits and savings from the public. But the present reality in the country is that individuals are rolling out multiple investment schemes, especially in the agro and real estate industry. More often than not, a good number of these unregistered investment platforms abscond with people's money. The unchanging narrative remains same. Even with recurring losses, people are still falling victims to these schemes. Helios Orakpo is an accountant. Just like many others, he invested in an agro-based investment scheme that promised a good return on his money that never happened.
He opened Eatrich 360, Homeflex Global, Investify, quite a number of investment companies, and they are all limited liability companies. That shows that there is a gap. You know, they were opened with virtually the same address, number 3 GRA something. So, and they were also registered with the CSE. For it to be a company, it has to be registered with the CSE. Now, I understand that the regulation does not easily permit the use of investment, some other terms in the name of your company. So if before doing that, it's expected that some due diligence would have been carried out by the regulatory body and the CAC before you allow such companies to come into existence. They should clearly define their objective, the objective of the business. Submit their memorandum of association and their articles of association. These are the checks that the government meant to do through this CAC and other regulatory bodies. But to be honest, there is already a gap. These guys you can lie about nearly anything, and they may not even have the authority to actually do what they end up doing, maybe doing crowdfunding and all that. But thank God SEC has stepped in, but it's quite too late. Many people have already fallen victim. So for Sam Afolabi, I don't know how he must have gone around it and found his way around creating so many investment companies to dupe people. It's unfortunate, and there are many victims out there that are still crying and trying to see how they can get back their money.
Findings indicate that these fraudulent investment schemes enjoy huge patronage, especially on the social media.
They started with lots of social media campaigns. You know, they were promoting their farms on Instagram, Facebook. They engage people that have influence in the market. I understand that they had a deal with one of the actors, Muyiwa, one of the prominent Yoruba actors, and his influence alone was also what made most people go into the Eatrich net.
An interaction with an investigative journalist who has been trailing some reports of these scam investment schemes revealed that the list of victims are endless and losses monumental.
Over 600 people running into billions of investment in Naira now. We have people in diaspora, we have people in Nigeria here who have invested millions of Naira into Eatrich farms and other investment schemes that Sam Afolabi, the founder, has done. He has a lot of influencers, social media influencers on Facebook especially now, that he used to lure people into these schemes. So people who have such huge following on social media were recruited.
A financial expert, Johnson Chukwu, has this to say about risking money in unregulated investment schemes.
A situation where somebody comes to an individual and tells you, look, you invest in agricultural products, agricultural commodities, or agricultural land, and you get 50% or 100% return per annum. The question you should ask is, what agricultural product gives you 100% return per annum? If it does exist, the person will go to his family and friends and make that investment, or go to a bank. If it's a bankable transaction that is making 100% return, the person will only go to the bank and borrow money at 20% per annum and make 80% return. They wouldn't come to you if such business exists. So it's common logic. Ordinarily, because the government duty to register any of these funds, and that's why you have Secretary of State's Commission, that's why the central bank as the organizations or the regulatory agencies that regulate these activities related to fund management. If the fund is not registered with any of these entities, then it cannot be legitimate.
The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission is very much aware of these Ponzi schemes. The chairman of the commission, in an earlier broadcast on TVC's popular program, Your View, noted he is inundated with petitions from victims.
We aggregate all the complaints involving investment scam as well as employment scam. You understand? Nigerians have complained to us to have lost over 200 billion naira.
What?
In complaint. It's a huge problem. It's a Ponzi scheme that is going on left, right, center, and Nigerians have to be wary about anybody that is promising you, some, money doubling kind of interest. How can you invest 500,000 and somebody is promising you 50,000 naira every month?
From all indication, it has been established that most Nigerians are gullible, considering the volume of money that has been lost to fraudulent investment schemes. The federal government is being urged to beam its searchlight on the activities of these investment platforms on the social media where most of these investment products are promoted. Ifunanya Eze, TVC News, Lagos.